Online, Lyra always considered herself cautious, not one to put her life on display. Her profile was almost empty, a couple of photos, minimal information. She didn't tag her location, didn't add strangers, and didn't trust people. But she trusted technology, and that was precisely her mistake. Her life was simple. During the day, she worked remotely as a designer. She could sit for hours at her laptop, bent over mock-ups, sometimes tucking a strand of dark hair behind her ear. In the evening, she'd shower, a loose t-shirt, the soft glow of a lamp, and music playing in the background. She loved solitude, sometimes even too much. It all started with those small things. That evening, she worked late. It was drizzling outside, drops trickling down the glass, reflecting the streetlights. She closed the laptop, and the screen flickered for a second, as if someone didn't want to let it go. Lyra frowned. It seemed so. She went to bed. The next day, the cursor moved on its own, just a little, as if a hand, invisible but confident, had nudged it. Lyra froze. This isn't funny anymore. She rebooted the laptop. Everything returned to normal, but only temporarily. 3 days later, the camera turned on. The red indicator light suddenly lit up. Lyra was sitting with her legs tucked up on a chair. Her clothes were on, her shoulder bare, her posture relaxed. She slowly looked up and saw herself. A second. 2. The camera turned off. Her heart pounded in her chest as if it were trying to escape. That evening, the first message appeared. Not from an app, not from a browser, just over the screen. You look especially beautiful today. Lyra pulled away abruptly. Who is this? The answer came instantly. I like it when you think you're alone. A chill ran down her spine. She looked around. The room was empty. She turned off the Wi-Fi, but a minute later, the screen lit up again. It's not helping. Now she began to panic. The next few days became a trial. He wrote every evening. No threats, no demands. He watched. You drink too little water. You get nervous before bed. You close your eyes when you think. He knew her too well. Lyra began to change her habits. Taped over the camera, unplugged her laptop, closed the curtains, but that didn't stop him. The messages continued. One day he wrote, "You've changed. I don't like it." Lyra typed with trembling fingers. "Who are you?" The answer came a few seconds later. The one who was there before you even noticed? She decided to take action. She called an IT guy she knew, Dima. He arrived that evening with a laptop and flash drives. "We'll see," he said calmly. An hour later, his face turned serious. "You don't just have a virus," he said quietly. "It's remote access. And very well done. Can you remove it?" "I can try, but what? It's already inside." A long time ago, Lyra felt her insides tighten. She barely slept that night. And at 3:17, the screen turned on again. Itself. "You called someone." Lyra froze. "It's none of your business." "Answer. You're breaking the rules." "What rules?" Pause. "Mine." The next day, Dima wrote, "I've almost cleared the system, but be careful." Lyra exhaled for the first time in days. That evening, she turns on her laptop. Nothing. Silence. No messages. She even smiled. But the joy didn't last long. When she got up to get some water and returned, a video was open on the screen. She didn't start it. Her hand shook. Slowly, she pressed play. The recording was of her apartment, but not from a webcam. The angle was different, higher, as if the camera was in the room. Lyra felt the blood drain from her face. In the video, she was sleeping, calmly, vulnerable. The camera moved slowly. It was as if she were being held in hands. She jumped up. She looked around the room. Nothing. Empty. But the feeling that she wasn't alone became almost physical. That evening, she noticed another detail. The closet. The door was slightly ajar, although she clearly remembered closing it. Lyra froze. "No." She approached slowly. Her hand was shaking, and suddenly, her laptop beeped. A message. She turned around. Not now. Her heart stopped. She couldn't take it anymore. She grabbed her jacket and ran out of the apartment. She went down the stairs, barely feeling her legs. It was cold outside, but she didn't even notice. She spent the night at her friend's. She told her everything. The friend didn't fully believe it. Maybe you're just working yourself up. Lyra was silent. She knew it was real. The next day she returned with Dima. They entered the apartment together. Silence. Everything was in place. Dima checked the rooms. No one. Lyra breathed a sigh of relief. But then he stopped. Wait. He went to the closet, opened it all the way, and froze. What's in there? He slowly stepped back. A camera. Small. Hidden. Lyra felt her world shake. He was here, Dima said, and most likely more than once. That evening, they called the police. An investigation began. They found more devices, evidence of a break-in, but the man himself, nothing, as if he'd disappeared. 2 weeks passed. Lyra began to come to her senses. Changed apartment, bought a new laptop, new phone, new life, almost. One night she was sitting at her new computer. Clean, secure, so she thought. She opened the browser and froze. The cursor moved on its own. Slowly, cold, consciously, a message appeared on the screen. You thought that was it? Lyra held her breath. The next line appeared a second later. I'm not in your computer. Pause. Her heart pounded in her temples. And the last. I mean you. The light in the room went out. And in the reflection of the black screen, she saw a silhouette. Again. Behind. And this time, he was closer.